Hello there. Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much for clicking the link and logging in to join me here. This is serious stuff we're going to be talking about because these are serious and challenging times that we're having to deal with in the world right now. And so I invited you to join me so that we can sit together and figure out how to get ourselves through these terrible times and how to find some solace and maybe even some joy as we work our way out of and through this uncertain period. So you notice that I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down. It's that kind of video. So please have a seat. Let's sit together and talk. I'm recording this from my home because, like you probably, and like much of the world anyway, I too am observing social distancing, physical distancing, and isolation rules. The world is going through a really, really difficult time right now. And it is touching people everywhere. It's a difficult time for everybody, for all of us, because we are being attacked from all sides. Every single one of us is feeling the effects of this attack. We are being attacked from the inside by a virus, a dastardly, deadly, noxious virus. A thing we can't see, can't smell, can't even feel either, until it has got us fully in its death grip. It's a nasty, noxious virus that is making us very, very sick and killing many, many of us. And it has no known vaccine or cure. And apparently it's going to be that way for a while. So we're in this for the long haul. We are being attacked from the outside by the devastation that we're seeing around us, by the deaths of our loved ones, our family and community members. The virus is killing our people and doing it on such a scale that even if we have not been individually, personally affected by it yet, we still feel the concern and the fear and the uncertainty and the grief. We are being attacked on the outside by jobs lost, by layoffs, by income lost, by the lockdown and isolation and quarantine and social distancing and so on, with no money coming in and no contact with the people that we're used to being in contact with and used to hugging and kissing and spending time with and being close with. And these things that separate us in this way from the people we love are damaging and dangerous to us because we are social beings. We humans are social beings. Without human touch, we fail to thrive. We are also being attacked from the outside by governments who just don't seem to be able to get it right. They just don't seem to get it, some of them. They don't know what to do to show us that they care, some of them, or that they're able to ease some of our heaviest burdens. And all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. Add time into the mix, and it gets worse because time is not working with us on this one. And so many things just seem to be getting so much worse as time passes and as time goes by on its uncaring, indifferent way. Lots of things just get worse. We find ourselves now having to figure out how to live again, but to live differently, because this virus is not leaving us anytime soon. And in order for us to resist it and stay alive, we're going to have to live differently and love differently. And both of these obviously are going to be very difficult because they're new and unfamiliar, and partly because the precise changes and accommodations we're going to have to make because of these, and because of some of the things we're going to have to give up, go without, forget about. Some of these are so integral to our very nature as human beings, and in particular to our natures as women. We simply cannot thrive without them. We can survive, but we cannot truly thrive without them. And that is part of the danger. That is part of the devastation being wrought by this COVID-19. One of the aspects to which we as women are going to have to pay great attention is our capacity for caring, for healing and fixing, for fixing things and people. At this point, in this time, it doesn't matter whether we agree that women have been socialized into this or whether this is innate and comes naturally. from hormones or whatever. That is an argument we can take up later if we feel it's still helpful. But the reality of right now, the reality of our lives right now, today, is that what the world needs right now, most of, is caring, healing, and support. And those are some of the things that we women are good at. We are very good at. As people are losing more and more things, as we are losing lives and losing loved ones and losing jobs and losing our safety and security, what helps us through is the love and care and support that helps us rebuild, helps us find new pathways, helps us build new lives. And again, we women are good at that. We are very good at that. So that's one of the things we get to offer to the world right now. This thing, this virus, is affecting everything, every single aspect of human living everywhere in the world. Negatively. Mostly it makes things difficult for people. Health and healthcare systems, obviously, work and the economy, and therefore personal and national money supplies. It's affecting travel and mobility. It's affecting children, parents, and teachers. So it's affecting education and schooling. It's affecting shipping and shopping and all kinds of other important and vital things, including our freedoms and our human rights, and including women's right to be safe and protected from violence in our homes. Even if the virus does not get to you personally, individually, its effects either already have or will very shortly. So the question then is what to do? What do we do? What can we do? And I know it sounds like three different questions, but really it's only the same one articulated in slightly different ways. And that is what I'm inviting you to investigate and discuss and figure out with me together in a week or so, with me and a few of my friends. Because even in the middle of a crisis, it is important that we sit down for a moment, just sit, be still for a moment, take stock of where we are, what our options and possibilities might be, what support systems might be available for us, formal and informal, and figure out a way forward. It is especially critical in a crisis time, actually, that we do this. So please plan to join us on June 4th. June 4th, it's a Wednesday. And when you register, you also get a free download of Your Soul is Gold, Mine It, which I had prepared as a guide and handbook for a group of women some years ago as I supported them through some difficult times in their lives. For the immediate and foreseeable future, our lives have changed. All our lives have changed and will continue to change. We're going to have to be different and behave differently. There's no going back to normal. In fact, normal has already changed. But perhaps we can build a better version of all the normals, the many normals that we have known so far. Perhaps we can build a better normal. To my mind, the changes that we are already encountering, that we will continue to encounter for a while, fall into three broad categories. There are those over which we have absolutely no control and no influence. Unless, of course, we happen to be political women, activists or advocates, or people whose job it is to hold government to account or to make legislation and so on. Otherwise, the only thing we'll be able to do with this particular group of changes is to comply and obey. We will do what the government and the health authorities tell us. We will adapt and adjust. There's that other group which we can negotiate and work out in agreement with other people, our employees, employers, our family, and our friends, for example. And then there'll be those that only we get to figure out, only we get to determine and decide, all alone, by ourselves, for ourselves, with no help from anyone. These are those that for which we can neither receive nor accept any help. Those are the things that we can make only on our own. In any case, how we manage, how we deal with every single one of these cases, these possibilities, these adaptations, changes, these losses, these things that we must give up, is determined by who we are, by what quality of human being we are, by what principles and values we subscribe to, adhere to, practice in our lives, and by the abilities and desires that we possess. How we navigate and manage those changes, whether we do it successfully and in ways that add value and the least amount of pain, the greatest value, that add the greatest value and the least amount of pain to ourselves and to others, depends entirely on how we choose to be, how we choose to act, how we choose to behave in this time. So, what I want us to talk about, what I am inviting you to join us in doing, is figuring out how to chart and initiate this next phase of our journey. These circumstances that we neither expected nor even imagined, and for which we did not plan, for which we could not possibly have planned. Virus movies and conspiracy theories notwithstanding. We get to work intentionally, on purpose, with deliberate focus to answer some important questions, and then to move forward with renewed confidence and with the support of some of our sisters, of some more of our sisters. To answer the question or questions, what to do, what do we do, what can we do, we must first arrive at answers to another set of very vital questions. How must we be as people? How must we be as people, as individuals and in groups, yeah? As communities? What aspects of our being must we pull the farthest out and rely on the most deeply? What aspects of us must we pull furthest out and rely on most deeply? In other words, there can be no more shallow diving, no more superficial dealings. If we want to get there from here, there being a better place than the one we are in right now, we're going to have to reach deep, deep, deep into ourselves. Whether we know how to do it or not, we're going to have to figure it out. And we're going to have to pull from that reservoir of strength, intelligence, and spirit that every single one of us has inside ourselves. We get to figure out what is required for our individual lives, what aspects of ourself, we need most, how to access and utilize and protect it. Because yes, we must protect that part of ourselves. We must always protect ourselves. We must each do what we can so that we emerge stronger from this challenge. We must each do what we know so that we might help someone else emerge strengthened from this. And this right here is what I do. This is what I know. I support and hold women up. I help women discover or rediscover their strength and power, their joy and their purpose. What I do is gather women, engage our empowerment together, and help women find and use our voices individually and in groups. So that is what I'm doing here. This is what I have been doing for years. I work with women in places as different as China and the United States. Women of all ages, young girls and older women. Women going through difficult periods, women just wanting to reorganize their lives. I know how to do this. I wasn't prepared for this, but the same principles apply. It's about figuring out who we are inside, digging deep, going inside and finding our personal strength and negotiating allies and support around us. That's how we get through difficult challenges. And this is the biggest one at the moment. Some of our sisters around the world have been living difficult, dangerous, challenging lives every single day. I have worked with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. I have worked with the World Academy for Women. I have worked with social services in different parts of the world, and I have encountered the kind of devastation and pain and breakdown that women endure in because they live in conflict zones. They live in places where war is the only thing that they know, and they have to keep themselves and their families safe and protected as best they can. Women whose daily struggle is just keeping a household going, for whom poverty and scarcity are an everyday issue. And then women who have everything, who have all the money that they could possibly spend and are deeply unhappy because there are things that are missing, that are just not working for them. We must each do what we know. We must each do what we can. So please join me on June 4th. The details are in the registration window, including a free download of Your Soul is Gold. Mine it. Let there be a multitude of us on June 4th, a gathering worthy of its name. At least one woman from each country, I say. One woman from each country, city, or village, even, and from each island. This is a global issue. Pandemic means it touches the whole world, and so it requires that we, women around the world, women from the whole world, figure out together how to get ourselves and our loved ones through this. This is going to need responses from every area, and so we get to do what we know. We get to do everything that we can. That's my request here. That's my request here. These are momentous times. They require momentous decisions. These are precarious, even hazardous times for our entire world. These are times that demand deep questioning and powerful answers. They require declarations of intent and commitment. They require strategy. And they call on community and support and connection. And this is the crux of this invitation, my sisters. This is what this invitation is all about. We women providing and being active support systems for ourselves and our sisters, wherever in the world they or we happen to be. We get to do this to help us keep ourselves moving forward, and doing it in ways that also help other women to keep moving forward. That's what women do. That's what we are. Women doing what women do. Women who lift up and support other women. Women who are intentional about our lives, especially in the face of adversity and tragedy, such as is this time which we're living right now. And women who intend to garner some positivity and progress, to find some joy later on in our lives, to set ourselves up to be able to laugh again and relax again and just love again in the ways that we know how, and be successful again in all the ways that we know how. So thank you once again. Thank you very much once again for having sat with me today. Please accept my invitation for us to sit again on June 4th, Wednesday, June 4th. Let's do this. Click on the link and join the gathering. Be part of the gathering. Be the gathering. Because when women gather, wonderful things happen. When women meet, marvelous things manifest. Let us sit together on June 4th to chat and laugh and strategize and heal ourselves and some other people, and manifest some marvelous, marvelous things to get us out, to get us through this terrible time.